friendo, Steve here. Welcome back to the channel. Well, we all saw the Royal Rumble, right? So I can totally spoil it here on the channel now that it's Monday. We can talk about it. Of course, we have the full review over at Going In Raw. But if you wanted my quick thoughts on the Royal Rumble, I'm going to give them here. So I'll just sort of go match by match and give you my quick thoughts, and we'll be done with it. I was thinking about doing something like ups and downs, but obviously somebody a lot cooler than me already has that. You know, I could do like the good and the bad, or the best and the worst of the Rumble, but I don't need all that. I'm just going to tell you my thoughts. I'm going to ramble right here is what I do. Before I get started, do me a favor, give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I got a hat on because I just went out and about, did some errands, and then I came home, so I got hat hair under this. And I really don't want to be on camera with hat hair, so suffer through my Sacramento Kings hat. Make all the jokes you want them in the comments below. Nothing I haven't heard before. They suck, I know. Anyways, let's dive into it. First up, Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. I thought this was actually a really, really good match. I'm not huge on the DQ finish because it just sort of fizzled out, but I understand the story beat. I thought the story beat was pretty cool. Roman Reigns basically was getting played by Seth Rollins throughout until he was able to turn around and he let his emotions get the best of him, and he just choked the living shit out of Seth Rollins until he passed out. And then I thought it was kind of a weird beat for Charles Robinson to not, you know, to be doing the lifting up the hand thing. And then he sort of just puts the hand on the rope when it comes back down, is how it looked anyways. I know Seth probably grabbed onto it, but still, I thought the finish was a little bit wonky, but I understand it was just a major story beat. This is the first time I think Roman actually has a loss on his record in like 730 days or something like that. So it was a very significant loss here for Roman Reigns, even though he retains the Universal Championship. I assume they're going to run this back in Saudi Arabia, and that's where Roman will actually get his win. And of course, that's going to lead to Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar for the Universal title there at WrestleMania. Next up, we got the Women's Royal Rumble. I thought this match was actually a lot better than the Men's Rumble, simply because all the stories that they had sort of set up leading up to this match played out in the match, unlike the Men's Rumble, where they didn't really follow up a lot of the storylines that they were telling coming into the Rumble. I thought that this Rumble was a lot of fun. I thought they made really good use of the returns of the legends. For example, Naomi's old running buddy Cameron came back, and of course Sonya Deville beat the shit out of her. And we had another really cool Naomi saves herself from being eliminated spot. They had Sonya, you know, be the one to pull that rug out from under her. I thought Mickie James coming out to Hardcore Country was cool. The Impact Championship around her waist, I thought that was neat. I thought this was a really cool Rumble, to be honest with you. I thought that it might have lacked that sort of one person who was in there eliminating a ton of people. Like Bianca Belair didn't have any eliminations until pretty late into her time there. I thought that Ronda Rousey coming back, we all sort of knew it was going to happen, so it was a bit anticlimactic. I'm not a huge fan of hers. I thought that her initial run had ups and downs, had good points and not so good points. I really wanted somebody who had more of a story going into this to win. I wanted it to either be Naomi or Bianca. I sort of realized, I mean, you know, once the rumors got out that Ronda was going to be there, it was like, okay, well, she's in it. Guess what? She's going to win. And I really liked the moment between her and Shayna Baszler when they sort of teamed up and started taking people out. Shayna's smile on her face when, Ronda's smile on her face when Shayna came out. I thought that was a pretty cool moment. So all in all, I thought this wasn't a terrible Women's Rumble. I thought it was pretty decent. I liked that it came down to Ronda and Charlotte. Charlotte got eliminated by Ronda. Ronda's probably going to end up choosing her, although she's supposed to be at Raw later on tonight. I imagine it's probably going to lead to somehow she'll end up on SmackDown as well on Friday, and that'll end up being the match. Maybe they'll do Ronda versus Becky in the meantime at Saudi Arabia. I doubt that. I don't think that's going to be the case. Becky Lynch versus Doudrop. This was cool. It was a simply told, efficiently executed match that had a sideshow of the WrestleMania sign being on fire and leaking molten residue on the people below who had been evacuated from the area. So I don't think anybody actually got hit with molten stuff. But Becky and Doudrop's match had to compete with the spectacle of them trying to put out this WrestleMania sign, which is on fire because of the pyro from Ronda Rousey's win a couple minutes earlier. And so Becky had to sort of compete with that. And otherwise, this was just sort of a standard match. I thought it was a good match. I thought it was a well-told story. Becky had to win with that Superman handle slam from like the second rope. I thought that was pretty cool. Solid match, but unfortunately had to compete with the WrestleMania sign on fire, which, I mean, in a nutshell or in a vacuum, is actually pretty funny. By the way, Becky Lynch, her ring attire was absolutely amazing. All gold. It was great. She is the GOAT. Next up, Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley. I was a little surprised that they had Brock Lesnar visibly eat a pin from Bobby Lashley. I know it was booked in such a way. Roman Reigns comes in, gives him a spear, and then Paul Heyman gives him the title. So Paul Heyman turns on Brock Lesnar. We sort of saw that coming a mile away. And then Roman, hits Brock with the title. And then he had this great moment where he sort of looks at the title and he just sort of throws it down like it's trash. Like that USA title is whatever, secondary, which is how WWE treats it, which is still weird to me because USA is paying him $1 billion for the rights to Raw. In any event, Bobby Lashley ends up getting the win on Brock Lesnar, and now he's WWE champion. Interesting to see who ends up fighting for that title. Is it going to be Edge? Is it going to be Seth Rollins, maybe, if he comes back over to Raw after he loses in Saudi Arabia to Roman, if that's what they're going to do? How's this going to go down? Who's going to be fighting on night one for that WWE title? Probably in the opening match. I don't know. But otherwise, I thought the match was fun. It was really physical. Obviously, it's Brock Lesnar's Bobby Lashley. They just started throwing each other around, dumping each other on their heads with the German suplexes. Thought that was pretty cool. Pretty decent match between these two. After that, we had the Grit couple versus the It couple. We had Edge and Beth Phoenix versus Miz and Maurice. I like this because I'm older and I'm married. And so watching two older married couples go at it in the ring, physically fighting each other, was pretty cool. They brought the brick back into play. That was pretty cool. I thought this was fun. I just thought this was fun. Everybody looked like $1 million here. Everybody did a really good job. This was the crowd pleaser. This was the no drama match because we all know how it was going to go. And we got to see the finish with Edge and Beth Phoenix both hitting glam slam onto Miz and Maurice. I thought it was a really cool finish. So, yeah, I give this one a thumbs up. I thought it was pretty cool. This gets an up. Hey, Simon, this gets an up from me. And then we had the Men's Royal Rumble. This left a lot to be desired because they didn't play out any of the stories. I thought there was there was a couple bright spots. I thought Bad Bunny was fun because he's always fun. I thought Johnny Knoxville was awesome. Did you catch his forearm smash, his Vader, Shibata, whatever forearm smash, his strong style forearm smash to AJ Styles' chest? That thunder throughout the arena, the stadium, that was awesome. Johnny Knoxville did a killer job in the Rumble. Beyond that, like I said in my rundown of the Women's Rumble match, they didn't really let any of the stories from the build-up play out in the actual Rumble match itself, like Ray and Dom. They weren't even in the ring together at all. So that didn't really play out. AJ Styles got eliminated by Madcap Moss and Happy Corbin. That was kind of dumb. It was great seeing Drew McIntyre come back, and he got his vengeance on Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss. So that was cool. Again, because I don't know, I had sort of thought this through. I sort of just knew that Brock was going to win this thing because when I thought about it even more, nobody on the other side, nobody else, in fact, was like really, nobody else was built as another favorite to win the Rumble. Everybody just declared they had their own stories going on. Orton's in a tag team right now. AJ, well, he was in a tag team, but he's kind of just not in a feud, I guess maybe with Austin Theory right now. So there was no other real contenders. I know a lot of people were saying Big E. In fact, Big E was like number 2 in the betting odds, but I have no idea why. I think it's simply because he was WWE champion and he didn't have a match otherwise going into the Royal Rumble, but then they moved him to SmackDown to be part of the New Day tag team again. So it's like, why would he even win? I thought it was disappointing that Kofi couldn't hit his cool spot this year. That to me was kind of the Rumble in a nutshell. A lot of people tried, but in the end, creative just let them down. And Kofi tried to hit his big spot. Unfortunately, the cameras caught the feet hitting the mat. And I think they're savvy enough to know that even if the cameras, the TV cameras, could have fooled the home audience, somebody would have been there with their cell phone, taking video of it, and that would have been all over social media saying, hey, they faked Kofi's big moment. Either it's the real thing, it's legit, and he hits it, or we saw what happened. The ref immediately came up to him and was like, hey, Vince said no, get to the back. You're out. You're eliminated. And then you see Big E come out like 2 entries after that, and he doesn't look too happy because they were probably supposed to do all sorts of other stuff after that. So yeah, it just it was a disappointment. I'll be honest with you. I feel like they set some cool stuff up, and then they didn't let any of it play out for the most part in the Rumble. And then at the very end, Brock Lesnar comes in, and he's got some cool moments with Bad Bunny, with Riddle, with Orton, guys that he has history with, and Shane McMahon. And he gets rid of them all, and it's him and Drew, which is a good callback to WrestleMania a couple years ago. And then Drew gets eliminated, which is kind of a bummer as well. And then the WrestleMania sign apparently caught on fire again, which was kind of just this year's Royal Rumble in a microcosm, the metaphor, symbolism, or whatever you want to call it. The WrestleMania sign going up on fire. So I don't know. I thought it was... I said this on the Going in Raw show, like a 3 out of 5 in total. Because I think some of the matches were fun. The men's Rumble kind of sucked, but it wasn't like the worst thing ever. It was all right. And the women's Rumble I thought was pretty decent. But again, a lot of people hugging those ropes. And like, you get the bit where people are trying to shove people off and they're holding onto the ropes. A little too much of that. A little too much defense being played. I like offense. I like people just being thrown out of that shit. So yeah, that's what I thought. I went back and I looked at the comments for the my predictions video here at WrestleJuice, and nobody got everything right. So I'm not going to send anything to anybody because nobody predicted Shayna would be in the last 4. That was sort of the big sticking point, is that I was just looking through everybody's last 4 and nobody had that. A lot of other people had the winners and everything, but nobody had that. So, yeah. Anyways, let me know what you guys thought about the Rumble in the comments below. Got some more videos coming up this week, so be sure to check those out. We also have a brand new channel under the whole Going in Raw umbrella. It's called Friendo Club TV. We talk wrestling over there, a bunch of other stuff. All the great little goofy bits that we do, whether it's on Smash Zone, some video game stuff. NXT Steve is over there. So go sub to that channel. Check out some of the videos over there. Thanks for watching, and yeah, we'll see you guys wherever you're clicking your little button there. No dog today. She's out there asking for food.